Alright, so we've just finished off Ben. Now it's time to go claim our reward for taking care of him. Let's see, what's the quickest way out of here? Do we have to leave the same way we came in? Back through the dungeons? Surely not, right? There's got to be a better way. Ship management? No, can't leave from here. Can we leave from our map? Can't leave from our map. Alright, well let's continue to look around. Let's see if we can get into the court now that Ben is dead. Maybe we're no longer seen as the enemy. One can at least hope. It's actually several people here that we may have interest in talking to. Yorlan's large eyes grow larger as you approach, then narrow to a sharp edge. Her hands briefly bowl into fists before finding their way to her hips. With a sharp twist of her head, she flips seaweed green hair over one shoulder.
Look who finally washed back up ashore.
The edge to her words matches the sharpness of her teeth. Seraphin winces.
Ahoy there, Siri. Miss me?
Did I miss you?
She growls a low, prolonged sound.
Like a fish misses water, you gutless bastard. For the first few weeks anyhow. Till it turned to confusion and worry. You said you'd write every night, didn't you? Then where were the birds or the boats with your poems and pages?
You saying our pirate's a poet?
Jody turns wide eyes to Seraphin, amusement making the corners of her mouth twitch.
Siri, sweet honey heart. I scribbled you missives day and night. Declarations of passion, sonnets in songs. Well, on account of me being at sea, I never had the opportunity to post them.
Oh, I'm certain. I'm certain I should believe every word of that blarney. About as certain as I am that you're a snake-tongued philanderer worth little more than a tug in the rug.
I plundered you up a pair of fine, very fine, snakeskin boots, with that tooling you like round the cuffs and all. But the gentleman sprung a leak, and they ended up thoroughly sodden.
She scoffs, and he looks to you with a shrug. Jody's eyes narrow, dark lashes fusing. Alright, so she likes skullduggery.
Tell her, Cap.
Oh, man. What do we do? What do we do? Could use diplomacy. Feel like insight's probably a better idea here, though, to tell him that she's upset Seraphin. Lying won't set things straight.
Fucking I am upset. Got every cod-crushing reason to put 16 plugs of lead in your furry blue ass and see how you sink.
Arms crossed, Siri taps her right foot a smidge faster than the tempo of the music. Seraphin rubs the back of his head and clears his throat.
Siri, I truly wish I was savvy to what's gone belly up betwixt us. I weren't intending to scorn you, I swear it on Andra's salty teat.
Oh, you weren't intending to scorn me, eh? You wish you was savvy, eh? Andra's salty fucking teat, eh?
He's fucking this up so badly. She asks each question louder than the last.
Ah, balls. Be in for it now.
At least he's self-aware.
He can't just go showering a lass with wildflowers and filling her head with verse if you're planning to ship out and never see her again.
Seraphin winces and shame splashes you like a bucket of cold piss. Let's use resolve to fight against it. Oh, it didn't work. Slick wit fur in the lamplight, calloused palms perusing her pelt, tweaking teats and biting at the soft edge of the neck, thrusting into hotness, yet tender, hopeful. Not that this time will be the one that lasts, but that she might forget this sodden shithouse for an evening or two.
You've been lucky thus far, you know. I'm of half a mind to call ye out, and I'm no worse than many with a blade. Least then, perhaps you'll give me a lick of satisfaction.
Her hands strays towards her belt. Alright, these are the infamous pistols that Seraphin's warned us about. Really high requirements on all of these, or fairly high requirements, at least on these two, for chat interactions. I'm wondering, they must be pretty impressive. Just apologize to her, Seraphin.
Aye, Captain.
He winces, then bows low to Siri.
I'll be truly sore and sorry, lass. Sorrier still than that. I won't go spinning no yarns about being married to the sea or coming home to you someday. I ain't that gentleman, nor never will be neither.
He straightens and meets her eyes.
Alls I can promise you is that what be broken me there ain't fixing for. I'll be a right sad fuck. And there ain't nothing to account for it but me.
I want to say well said, even though it's kind of dickish. Ah, fuck it, well said. Ciri sighs, wraps herself in her arms, and peers at Seraphine for a long, quiet moment.
That I can understand. I'm not forgiving you a lick now. I won't go seeking for your blood, neither. Now, why don't you be telling me what you want so I can be shot of you for good?
Seraphine nods.
Aye, lass. The captain's got an ask or two about Deadline. But first, I need to know. You remember Romaro? Sailed with me on a sorcerer.
Aye, I remember Romaro. You think I've gone wet in the head or something? Your words have always been as flowery for him as they were for me.
Seraphine claps once, grinning.
It weren't so long ago he shipped out, come to think on it.
Do you know where he went?
Can't rightly say. Left in a hurry, I think. Or at least he were here one day and gone the next. Not that he ever mixed much with the sods here.
Why was he here at the fort?
Well, tells you, let me know. Rumour were he went mutinous.
Rage flashes behind your eyes and your blood goes hot.
Oh, sideways pickle horse shit and a half.
Seraphine slams a fist into the nearby wall and Ciri flinches.
Wait till I find a whale fuck mother spreading this rancid shit. Teach them the very meaning of keelhaul, I will.
Don't know the truth of it myself. Might have been Romaro himself started the rumours. Gave him his privacy, certain. Even here, mutineers make no friends.
Give my thanks, lass. Truly. And many more besides.
He bows deeply, braided beard brushing the floor.
Oh, keep it in your pantaloons, you randy swab. You had any other questions, Captain? Happy to oblige the person hauling this blue bastard away from Fort Deadlight.
Just who is this Romaro person Seraphine's looking for? Seraphine rolls his eyes and crosses his arms.
You don't know? That's so, I'm thinking it's not my place to tell you.
Look, I need to know what Seraphine's getting my crew into.
Nay, matey. It's Seraphine's tale to tell if he's the notion. My lips aren't so loose as you may have heard. Were there something else you wanted?
Well, that was a positively underwhelming stat response. Use diplomacy to gain absolutely nothing of value.
Welcome one and welcome all. Buy me a bottle and I'll be your finest loving pal.
She hiccups into her fist, then pounds it on her chest to loose an impressive belch. Oh, well, that was it.
Black pox me. Drub me fucking dry. Gods. Speaking of.
She blinks up at you as if trying to clear her sight.
Don't suppose you're looking for another Sodom on that boat of yours?
I guess why not? What do you have to offer me?
You mean like silver and such? Oh, like what can I do? Sure, I'm real good with my fists, and not half bad with a blade neither. Might not look it, but I can take a hit and keep punching.
Chat, all I really want at this point, honestly, is a fucking party member that doesn't have an annoying voice actor.
Yeah, likely on account of being so full up of rum.
I'm good with Seraphine and I'm good with Ader, but Jody drives me up the wall, and I don't think I could handle this woman in my party either.
You're full of rum.
Right, good comeback, lass.
Seraphine sighs and rubs the bridge of his nose. Grab your stuff and claim a bunk.
Wait, really?
She blinks then straightens, more or less, and salutes.
Sure about this, Cap? Word's always been that Mercury fell out the womb 3 sheets soused.
Oh, stuff them sheets up your ballast hole, you sorty old furball.
Another boisterous drunkard. Gods, I'm starting to sound like a dare.
Adair. Ooh, he pronounces it differently than everyone else. Fancy elves.
Aye, aye, Captain. See you aboard.
She winks, and with a hand holding her hat to her head, runs from the room. So she's a monk. Apparently she's a sidekick? Sidekicks start out as unique NPCs integral to specific quests, complete with their own personalities and looks, and they may offer to join your party as a reward for completing their quest. Just like companions, these new characters have a custom portrait and voice sound set. However, unlike companions, they do not have their own vision quest and will not participate in the companion relationship system. So, it'd be real nice if there were an indicator on this screen that told you this was just a sidekick. She does not seem to have one. Whatever. She can be a monk. Yeah, how do you actually tell from this screen? I don't even think you can. I don't think that information's actually relayed to you. But if she's just a sidekick and she doesn't have a vision quest, whatever that is, she's not integral to the story and we're just gonna skip her. She may come in handy at some point, but we don't need her now.
Of course.
Can't go in through there. Can we play the piano? Rig a bomb to the harpsichord? I guess there's some way to get Ben to come down here, too. Inspect the instrument. The row of wooden keys links to an exposed set of strings. Tapping the key triggers a small quill to strum each associated string. Yes, that's how a piano works. Or a harpsichord. Same difference, kind of, sort of. Close enough. Alright, let's see about actually getting out of here. I had hoped there'd be an easier way to fast travel than going back through the dungeon and out that way, but it looks like that might just be the way we have to leave. Oh, to port. Okay, no, that's probably the legitimate way in and out of here. Can activate fast mode here and just run. So we've got two options here. Nekataka's the next place that the main quest kicks off. We can also go to Dunnage to reap our rewards for having killed Ben, and I think that's actually what we're going to do first. Let's set a course for Dunnage. Heavy clouds darken the horizon. Clouds gather in the distance, a hazy curtain of rain hanging from them. Eldingrim eyes the storm and spits. I wish this ship had a boatswain, and there's no one better to have with you in a storm. Your crew looks to you. Your orders? Can we ask a companion's aid? Does someone give me a hint? Let's have Seraphin come with, because Seraphin's a pretty good sailor as I understand it. The Orland grins. Aye, Cap, I'll be letting you know if you do anything too hollow-headed. Gives me +5 morale, that's nice. The Orland grins. Oh, that we've gone through this. The crew could use I can just do them back to back. The crew could use a sermon, Jody, if you're inclined to give them comfort. You want me to pray to an aspect of death? Jody's lips quirk in amusement. Suppose I can plead for a safe passage of our souls through hell, should we all perish shortly. After a nod, she bows her head. Gain more morale. Glory be to the many aspects of Aethys, greatest of all who is gone. I raise my voice to you in humility, thankfulness, and everlasting worship. Hear me, my God, and take pity on my dire plea. As we now sail through the dark storms of death, we will not fear the reaping to come, for your lantern will guide the way. We will not stumble or stray from the path you have laid us through hell. We will embrace the end of our lives and shuck the rotting husk of our fallen bodies. That's poetic. After whence we will be planted for rebirth by your hand, forever and always as the wheel turns. Amen. Spiritus Sancti. Assign crew duties. The crew looks to you for guidance. Let's use a rope and grappling hook. Beardil, take this line and lash yourself to the wheel. Don't want you going overboard. With a grimace, Beardil accepts the rope and begins looping it through the spokes of the wheel and his own belt. I've lost the item, but he is secure. Let's hand out the last of the cooked food, Hyanma, and put out any fires in the galley. Emma salutes. Understood, Captain. Crew will be glad to have a warm meal before we dive into this mess. Do we want water? Let's get below decks and secure cargo. For the course of affirmatives, the crew disappears below decks. That's enough for now. We're as prepared as it's gonna get. Take us in? Or can I do more crew duties? Yeah, that's it. Alright. Let's go in. Clouds sweep over you, dominating the sky and hemming the sea beneath a roiling grey dome. The rain drums against the deck. Sweat beads on Beardle's brow as the storm looms ever closer. We can't outrun this one, Captain. The sea roils and the ship rocks as waves broadside the Defiant. The wind drives rain across the decks. Get everyone below decks and batten the hatches. We're lying a hull. Well, it'd be great if I spoke pirate, but I don't speak pirate, so I have no fucking clue. Ah, thank you, game. You read my mind. The most passive tactic against a storm. The crew strikes the sails and goes below decks before securing all of the hatches. Protects the crew and the mast, but leaves the ship drifting at the mercy of the sea. The ship may roll in particularly rough seas. Let's not do that. Hold course. Crew remains at station and attempts to sail as normal. We're heaving to. Get below decks. We're flying bare poles. The sails are struck and the crew goes below decks, save for the helmsman who remains at the wheel. The ship relies on the wind against the mast for propulsion, often achieving great speed. This protects the crew and the sails, but can be dangerous to the hull and risks the helmsman. It's just, everyone, all hands to posts. Hold course. That's a failure. Waves rise and break over the rails, sending water cascading across the deck. Sailors shout orders to one another, clinging to the rigging for their lives as you cut your way through the storm. So a storm's no joke. So we took some damage, we lost some morale. Storm rages on, showing no signs of subsiding. 1 day passed. The wind calms, but rain pours from the sky as if the Defiant had come to rest beneath a waterfall. Rainwater sloshes across the deck and under the rails. Hold course? That's another failure. The sea runs thick across the decks, pouring in through the hatches and ports alike. Lost time and lost days. After sloshes about the hold, water sloshes about the hold already knee deep. The Defiant is taking on water. We need to lose weight. Throw everything. Freeze ability. Freeze the encroaching water. That's an option in the chat wheel, but none of us can execute on it. Fucking helpful. Thanks, game. Hands to the pumps. Get that water out of here. The hands pump the water out, keeping pace with the water coming in. By the end of the day, Chittipek is soaked entirely through and cradling an arm. That was miserable. Alright, sailors can gain ranks and things. Good to know. Crew injuries. Cannot perform their job during a battle while injured unless the surgeon attends to them. Forcing a crew member to work with an injury has a severe impact on morale. Alright, good to know. As if exhausted, the clouds finally calm, coming to a rest like a thick blanket across the sky. The waves, too, end their trembling complaint. The Defiant finally sails easily. The crew lean against the rails and rigging, their faces haggard but relieved. The storm, it seems, has passed. Okay. Gained experience. I wanted to see... Yeah, so I can turn this one in. This one seems doable at this point. It is doable. We're recommended to have... Oh, that's nice. It gives us a recommended companion to tell us who we should have on this quest. We will take our good friend, Seraphin, with us. Water Lagoon. Ooh, we are sailing off the map. Nope. 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 You're faster than me. Don't do it. Shit. So these are all way too difficult for us to deal with. That's an 11th level rogue. There is no way. Can I surrender? Holy shit. Escape? Prepares for naval combat. I have no idea how to do this. Alright, gaining wind advantage. Retreat? Failing to pick up enough speed to escape, the ship's sails abruptly flutter loose on their masts. Your opponent's ship comes around with all possible haste, though the opposing crew is fleet of foot, turning a vessel of the Siren Song's size, still takes time. What a bit of alliteration there. Do I just keep spamming retreat? What affects my chances of retreating here? You order your crew to flee with all possible haste. The enemy vessel recedes behind you until finally it disappears from the horizon. Hey, we got away. Just at the slight cost of morale, but I do not care about morale in the slightest. I probably should, but right now I don't. Are you serious? Oh, come on. Ooh, we instantly escaped that one. I probably have to figure out combat at sea at some point. Seeing as it's a pirate-based video game. Probably something we have to start to learn how to do.
That can't be you, I think it is.
Oh, someone knows us.
Damn me for a buttered slice of hardtack. It's you, ain't it?
Pale elf squints at you and puffs on her pipe. A crid smoke from the bowl wreathes her face. What are we missing here? We're missing a pale elf attribute to make that. Do I know you?
Of course not, but I know you like I know the curve of my 11th toe.
She winks and shuffles closer.
The Watcher, captain of a mighty ship, god chaser and fiend slayer. Must be expensive sustaining a reputation like that, eh?
She rubs her fingers together.
I'll keep it quick, see? If your little dinghy has got some chase in it, I've got a list of captains with a black mark to their name whose ships need a quick scuttling. And I'm in the market for a scuttler.
She sticks the pipe in the side of her mouth and grins, showing a mouthful of yellow teeth. Alright, so this is bounty hunting. Essentially, you're offering me a bounty? Where do I start?
You read me like a book, you do. Then let's talk business, eh?
Cracks her knuckles and grins.
You'll be looking to scuttle Cornu first, one of Rowatai's finest, eh? I don't ask my client what he did or what scale his death balance is. Safer to keep questions in the hold.
I guess we'll just pick this quest up and hope that we don't screw ourselves on the seas later. I'm assuming we have to go out of our way to find him, so I'll take the bounty.
Of course you will. Now's a good opportunity when you seize it. Cornu helms a Voyager early muster in the waters north of Nakataka and south of Sayuka.
Alright, farewell. Okay, cool. So we don't have to worry about that for now.
Made me want to poke out my eyes.
There's a poor neglected pig up there. I think we have to go save the neglected pig. That's priority number 1, then we'll go collect our reward. Love that we just pick up animals. While Chauncey is following you around, you receive a bonus to dexterity and enemy weapon attacks against you will graze rather than hit. So can I just put that down? Like, how do I use the animal? Anyone? Anyone in chat? Anything the game's gonna tell me? Nope, doesn't look like it, so forget it for now. Let's see if we can figure out where we need to go to claim our reward. It looks like nothing is marked on the map. That's not helpful. Let's see. King's Coffin, Lifter's Refuge, the Radiant Court. Let's see if our journal gives us any indication of where he'll be. Captain Ferrante, who resides in the island of Dunnage, will be pleased to learn of the meddlesome pirate's demise. Alright, we don't get told exactly where he's at, so I guess we're gonna go find him. Let's try the King's Coffin. It has a pirate ship. He's a pirate. I assume they hang out in the same areas. Oh, this is actually on a ship? Maybe?
Kill him, wait an hour, then pull any gold teeth. Easy as pie.
You're an idiot. Wait a minute, wait an hour. Alive, dead, it makes no difference at all.
I've pulled plenty of gold teeth. I know the right way of it.
Maybe I'll pull your teeth just to prove you wrong.
What do you know? It really does make no difference. You, out.
We're definitely in pirate country.
Reckon that's one way to settle an argument.
Free stuff! silver pieces. Sure, works for me. Let's see if Jacob Harker knows where our friend is. At the bar, you find a tall man with salt gray hair and strikingly bright blue eyes. His face sports a handful of long scars that continue down his neck and disappear under the collar of his shirt. He looks up from wiping down the counter when you approach and gives you a broad, disarming smile.
Haven't seen you around before. Welcome to the King's Coffin.
I just realized this is a great visual element. What a fantastic logo for a place called the King's Coffin. His smile is wide enough to show his bright white teeth, but his light eyes remain cold and flinty.
What can I do for you?
Your tavern looks a lot like an old ship.
Figured that out all on your own, did you?
He winks. Okay, that's fair. I asked a smart-ass question or made a smart-ass remark. He gave me a smart-ass response.
You're right, though. Inherited an old dhow from my da when he passed. Right piece of shit it was, too. Realised I was bound to make more coin turning her into a tavern than letting her rot in her berth.
I wanted to buy something. Show me your stock of provisions.
So long as you show me some coin.
It's the same, yeah, it's the same interface regardless of what you pick, so it doesn't really make a difference. So really all he sells is a whole bunch of basic provisions. Discount on rooms minus 5%. Let's see. Ooh, so some of these are base stats and others are actual combat related things. Let's take the Sailor's Berth. 10% max health, 1 enemy engaged. That'll also fix our wound that one of our characters is carrying around from getting knocked out foolishly earlier due to a misplay on my part. It happens. Let's see, Officer's Perch. The Pleasure Cabin, rather. Seems like some place of our friend Ferrante may be. Not here. So our friend that was killed earlier was just known as Pirate, with nothing special about him. So that may not be an important death. Right, so Ferrante's not here. Let's try the Balefire Beacon, I suppose. We'll go here. What do you think the odds are? There's a giant Crystal of Audra here. Beacon seems likely to me. Two-eyed Pim. Well, it's good. What a name. There he is, Ferrante. Hello, buddy.
Ah, Watcher. Good. You have arrived.
Chin jutting upward, he grants you a winsome smile. His left cheek dimples as the smile spreads to show teeth.
Ahoy there yourself, Captain. What do I be but a pretty bit of man meat to dangle from a wrist? As easily forgotten as set aside.
Arms akimbo and head askance, Seraphim smirks. Ferrante rubs his thumb over his golden swillenet. Violent, the thoughts gilding over his face like dark clouds. Then he smiles, but it's a vicious expression more than a pleasant one.
A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benoit.
His eyes glint as a fierce grin cuts across his face and his lone dimple deepens.
Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation.
I can't eat commendations, my friend.
You'd have been right amused, you would. Few sights as fine as that hard blowing 3-sheeter getting what's long been doing.
Hands on his hip, Seraphim juts his chest forward, blue fur expanding like a bird's plumage.
You are lacking in so many ways, my former ship hunter, but no one can say you are not entertaining. I myself would have enjoyed watching you put the scoundrel in his place.
He had it coming.
That he did. Indeed.
Ferrante strokes his fingers down the line of his jaw, eyes downcast in thought.
And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize.
With a sweep of his arm, he offers you a magnificent cloak. You have gained the Cloak of Protection. That's pretty good stats.
However, there is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen. One which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire.
I've read accounts of an undead ship that flies a Darkosi flag, yes?
It would seem I have undervalued you, Watcher.
His dark eyes glint with interest.
I will not mince words, as you undoubtedly know what we are up against. This galleon, what likely remains of the Von Ferros, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, amico, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say.
Head craning abruptly to the side, he barks a loud order.
Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood.
At that last, he smiles. Sun-blistered and roll-boned, the pirate regards you both with a discerning gaze. She tongues a chapped bottom lip, but keeps quiet.
Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. Hit my head pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can.
I'm hoping this is a party member, because that voice is not annoying. The pirate touches a spot at the base of her skull and winces. She glances off to the side, eyes black and full of hurt. Ferrante sighs and rubs tiredly between his brows.
Go on, gent. I'm ready as I'm like to get me.
With a shiver, the pirate turns her black button eyes to you. Let's see. Nod. What happened to you?
Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes that moment. High seas, nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within. Out of nowhere was a hunt, not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked...
She gropes at her hip, but there's nothing there. Fingers fumbling at the air, she bares her teeth.
Rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding. Couldn't kill them. Couldn't even fight them in the end.
Tell me about them, the undead.
They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
She shrugs, gaze going far away.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Von Ferros of Old Valia. It belonged to our Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know.
When did this happen? She ruffles a hand through her short hair, scowls.
Dunno me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
Well, I'm more than able to gabble now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
She flits her hands over the softness of her shirt. Ooh, interesting. Again, her fingers hesitate close to her hip, the fabric crinkled there where a pistol might normally be strapped. Go perception. A muscle ticks in Ferrante's jaw, but he otherwise ignores her.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
How were you taken by surprise on the open sea?
Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No. Weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship
Glides her hand in the air.
skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it.
How'd you survive the attack?
Calling me craven? Huh, sure, I am.
She snorts. She rubs at the back of her head, rough, like she needs it to hurt.
Took a knock in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care me.
That'll be all. Selenia cuts a glance to Ferrante for confirmation. When he dismissively waves her away, her black eyes narrow and she raises her chin defiant. But then he turns his full gaze to her, suddenly seething, and she shrinks in on herself. Fists shaking at her side, she reluctantly retreats.
She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time.
Ferrante sighs.
One moment, Watcher.
Holy cow, 17 perception needed to make this check. The captain scowls at Selenia's retreating back, a dark anger warming his cheeks.
Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Revan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Dakotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Revan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume.
I take it you have a plan?
Indeed, I do.
He flashes you a devious grin.
Though I and mine cannot so openly venture into the depths of Neketaka, nor can we commune with the dead, you, Watcher, are adept in both of these areas, correct? You must search the Temple of Berath on Neketaka's sacred stair. Izair's tomb within it should contain a chronicle for how and where he slayed our paladin, Rivan.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Gelarde, do return when you've any lead that may navigate us to where the floating hangman anchors. I will be waiting.
He nods cordially in dismissal.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Right, so that quest continues. I was hoping to find some combat here, but looks like we didn't manage any. Let's buy some water here. Yeah, if we can just refill ship supplies. That only does the standards, but I think that's fine for now. Let's just trade on that. Yeah, I think I'm good otherwise. Let's leave by sea. Here, I'm not really sure what I want to do and where I want to go. I guess we can just kind of casually move towards Neketaka. Ooh, I've received an important missive from Captain Aeldis. So, you had a little run-in with Ben, and then you dragged it to my doorstep. You could have wiped your feet before you stomped in, but I digress. I know what you did, and I know who you are, and unlike my unfortunately blockheaded second-in-command, I recognize a threat when it smacks me upside the head. So, this is me, Captain Aeldis, commander of the goddamn New Blood Principi, leader of the second largest fleet of pirates in the god's fucking Deadfire, inviting you, a terrifyingly powerful and strange watcher, to come and meet with me under the strictest parley at Fort Deadlight. Which is to say, I promise not to gut you when you arrive for dinner and drinks. Looking forward to having a little hearthside chat. I would like to offer you a partnership of the most glorious and goriest variety. I scratch your back, you gut my enemies from hip to jaw. We laugh at their deaths over a bottle of the finest rum. Oh, and when you come, bring some candied nuts. Your newest and dearest friend, Aeldis. P.S. This is not a trap. I wonder if somewhere actually sells. Oh, well, there's the guy we're looking for. I wonder if someone actually sells candied nuts. For now, though, I'm tempted to actually just sail. Wow, man, look at these ships. Why do I keep bumping into things that are such a high level compared to me? I'm gonna give them a very wide berth. Unless they lock in on you like that. What the hell? Video game, what the fuck was I supposed to do here? Flee. Now I have to go through this message again. Retreat. 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 I just don't think there's any way I could beat them. go back to Deadlight, I suppose. Let's meet with this ALDs. Losing morale and the game's warning me about that. I guess I need to hire additional people and keep every position on the ship stocked. Maybe that'll help.
You're the captain who Aldi's invited to parley, ain't you? I'm to keep an eye out.
He taps a finger beneath his one eye that isn't covered by a black patch.
It's so I can provide you an escort when you arrive.
Lead on.
Right this way, Captain. It's my pleasure to show our honoured guest around. Aye, it sure is.
Said, dripping with sarcasm. Video game? Hello? Loading screen combined with... Okay.
Captain. Glad you could make it, Lovesome.
That's a poisoned blade. The battle-hardened captain rubs the underside of her chin as she regards you pleasantly. Her mist-colored eyes, one raven wing black, the other an icy blue, rove up and down your face.
Like what you see?
A golden swollenet gleams against the scarred skin of her chest. When you notice it, she flips it to reveal the mark of her status on the other side.
The mark on this side. It means I'm the second highest rank on the Council of Captains. I'm but one chair below that cockrot Ferrante.
She grins. Oh, so Ferrante's a big deal.
Now, I know I offered you a full parley, but I'm a pirate, which means I'm loyal to my crew. But otherwise, I lie whenever it benefits me. You killed my fourth chair, and a damn good friend. A part of me might be impressed, but a part of me wants to flay the skin from your face. Understand? If you've an explanation, I'd advise you to give it up real quick.
And show it to her. We had a dispute between pirates.
So you settled it, as pirates do. Suppose I can't fault you for that. Still...
Her lashes lower over her blue and black eyes, fanning like dark feathers atop her cheeks.
You cut off my right hand. How do you plan to replace it?
I'll take Benwith's seat on the council?
Only so long as you're loyal to me, you will. But someone's got to fill his seat. Suppose you were to throw your weight behind mine. I think you're seeing the way of things. How we might come to a beneficial agreement.
She winks her blue eye, flicking her pendant on the end of its chain. I have to look up how to pronounce that. I'm sorry, Chad, I can't do it.
Now that we've got that out of the way, I'll admit, I really like you, Captain. You got guts, and not just smattered in your hair. I'd like to make you a deal. Forgive me for dragging you all this way, but I find the proposition of a partnership best works in person. Me and mine within the Principe would make for powerful allies on your side. But would you give us loyalty in return? That I'd like to know.
Oh, do I want to make a deal with this pirate? Perhaps and perhaps not.
You're the cautious type. I can respect that. Or maybe...
Her mist-colored eyes look you up and down.
You just like to be wooed. But is it gold, booze, or power you're after? I'll offer you all three, and some, if you join with me.
I was actually hoping you had a giant god trapped in a statue. It's like 600 feet high. Aethys, maybe gone. If you've got one of those, sure.
But I like to be courted too, Lovesome. And I always come first.
She winks at you, her pink tongue playing at her teeth.
Say you wanted to entice an alliance of like-minded captains. You might start by aiding one of my best in Nekataka. She smuggles through the Undercroft. Goes by the name of Mad Morena, she does. And let me tell you, Dove, she's earned the moniker.
Cross your arms over your chest.
You're a hard one to read. Fancy a game of cards some night?
She spins her pendant on its string between her breasts.
I'll take your answer as a yes. For now. You've a bright future ahead of you, Watcher. See that you don't tarnish it by flying the wrong pirate's flag. Out with the stale and in with the new, eh? I know you've met with Ferrante. That you may even be working for him. That pribbling cock-rot.
With a flick of her fingers, the captain swipes a goblet of God's killer rum off of her desk. She takes a long swig before pointing at you.
But that doesn't mean you can't partner with me instead. Don't do anything to let him catch on. Just keep me appraised of certain future events as they shape up.
I'm just going to continue to cross my arms.
Shh. No need to say anything, not yet. You just think on it next time you're toiling for a man who'd happily gut you, after you've done his bidding, given half the chance.
She taps one temple knowingly.
When the time's right, we'll set our strategy. For what can I do, you lovesome?
Let's tell me about the new blood and the Principi?
We're the
Principi?
future.
What did she say?
And we ain't going nowhere.
Principi? Principi, I think that's it.
We're pirates, lovesome. We own this sea, and the sea loves us back in her twisted way. Ferrante pines for a homeland he's never seen. But what does old Valia mean to me or my crew? We're not Valian, and we never will be. Though if you're Valian and you want to join our bloodline, you're more than welcome.
I see.
I believe you. You seem like a sharp captain, you do.
Well, farewell. Not wholly pleased that I came all this way, not to end up with a quest that I can actually act on. Where am I? Oh, I'm upstairs in the court. How do I get out of here? I think it's actually the other direction. Yep, there's the exit right here. This goes back to the fort. You remember this part. Down the fort and out the port. So we have extremely low morale on this crew. We probably need a battle at sea that goes in our favor fairly soon. Haven't found one yet. I think I'm going to sort of meander over towards Nekataka and just see if we can find something we can fight, something we can do. Can I fight them? Are they friendly? I can't tell. I continue to lose morale at an alarming pace. So maybe I can swap whatever I'm eating or drinking here. Oh, we are almost... Oh, we have more water. Okay. It doesn't auto-equip. Let's just eat and drink some of the better stuff.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind.
Ooh, spooky music change.
The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000,000 bells ringing all at once. You are alone. And then, you are not.
Hey, it's the gods.
An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. bottomless black eyes, a yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Berith, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus. And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near you cannot comprehend their size. The shifting image of Berith settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
Watcher.
Her voice is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
He's draining souls from veins of luminous Adra.
The Pallid Knight knits her brows.
He does not seek to return to the beyond? Intriguing.
Her sickly pale skin pulls tight across the bones of her face, as if the shell of this aspect does not quite fit the impossible creature it contains. The figure nearest Berith dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped, ancient crone, whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire. The goddess Wodika strides forward.
Wodika, goddess of justice, laws, oaths, promises, rulership, vengeance, memory, and hierarchies. Depicted as an old noblewoman bearing a broken crown upon her head, said to have once ruled over the other gods, but has since been overthrown.
Does Aethys frighten you, Berith? He should. Magran subdued Aethys's influence once before, and yet he returned.
From out of Wodika's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan. His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars, and breath whistles through the ragged hole in his face where his nose once was. He does not speak, but stares up at Wodika with naked loathing plain on his ruined face. Wodika steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
She casts a sly look at the Pallid Knight from the corners of her eyes.
A moon would do the job nicely.
Let's say nothing, because I don't really feel like running my mouth in front of gods is a great idea.
The figure beside the aspect of Berith flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash. The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword. Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do-nothing, nor destroy the world. I acted in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves.
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the beyond? He should be welcomed.
You look up then into avian eyes. Through them, you see clouds of starlings converge and divide.
What if he intends to betray you?
Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest.
He wouldn't. Betrayal is not in his nature.
Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys's return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot. Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wodika suggests, and crush him into the earth.
So maybe Aethys is the good guy here, and these 5 are the problem.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who killed Lord Harren, the man who tormented his dear niece, Alice. Curious.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless mouth and grins, then turns to Helia.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
Attempting to end Aethys may only make things worse.
Your point is well made, little watcher. If self-evident, Aethys has not been known to possess a vindictive nature. Indeed, he has occasionally been magnanimous to a fault. However, if we push him to the brink of reason, there is no telling what he may do. He is, as ever, unpredictable.
Something akin to fondness creeps into her voice. The pallid knight gestures for silence.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time. Both stand in his favor.
Magran grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake. Magran stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
Absorbed his children? I don't understand.
The pallid knight casts a cold, cutting glare in Magran's direction.
Magran speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken, Watcher.
Wodica waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Her voice takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys other than decisive, final action.
We will act when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
The pallid knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height. The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Cool party trick.
Follow him, Watcher.
The black of the pallid knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
This is bullshit. I'll do what I can. Let's not piss her off too badly.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin. Alone.
Well, that's one way to have a conversation with the gods. Embark while on the deck of your ship. You can select the up arrow to access the world map. Alright, so I'm just...
Don't let anyone tell you you're too shrimpy to be a fighter. I was half your age when I started training.
Low rations and low morale. Ooh, not good.
Right.
How do I get out of here? Probably... No, I can just hit this from even inside. I don't have to be on deck. Good to know. So let's try and find combat, because I'd actually like to do a bit of strategy. I've been playing now for almost an entire hour, and we've had no combat of any sort. Let's see. Looks like we can go into the Howling Gorge here. See if we can find a fight. The desert wind carries a sibilant, Jesus. I am too tired for this. To your ears from the canyon ahead, punctuated by cracks and pops that reminds you of eggs on a hot pan or a fire in dry brush. The low growl that accompanies it, however, raises the hair on the back of your neck. Let's use our perception to listen carefully. The sound resolves into a rhythmic chittering, slowly and cyclically rising and falling. It sounds like a chorus of voices, inhuman voices. Search for the presence of other minds. Seraphine's eyes slide closed and breathing slows. You feel the faint tingle of the Cypher's abilities probing the edge of your own soul before turning outwards. ICAT. Got twixt 3 and 5 minds ahead, one of them be right goddamn big and twice as hungry. Let's cautiously continue forward. You carefully enter the desert canyon, keeping to the shade cast by the tall standing stones. Ahead of you, a group of Zareps chant, hopping back and forth on skinny legs, shaking their spears. Nested between them rises the black leathery form of a drake. The creature's wings rise above it as it tears the corpse of a boar at its feet. We fought a young drake earlier and it was pretty simple. Let's just continue watching for now. With a mighty twist of its muscular neck, the drake tears the boar in half. It rises up on its legs, lifting its head, and swallows the back half of the boar whole. The lump of the animal visibly travels down the reptile's throat. One of the Zareps hops forward. It tears its feathered headdresses from its head and tosses it aside. It drops its staff a moment later and spreads its arms before the drake. The large beast peers down at the Zarep, then with a flash of movement, eats the small wilder in a single bite. The other Zareps cheer, banging their spears against the shields. Alright, they have death wishes. Let's use a distraction. Use the distraction to sneak closer. You move quietly from stone to stone, entering the canyon without drawing the creature's attention. Oh, and that actually just loads me into the area, and then I get to go from here. That is exactly how that works. Alright, is this a young drake? Yeah, it's a young drake. Okay, I think we can fight this one.
Yeah, I got it.
We do want to spread out, I believe.
Wait, look there.
Okay, we've got several enemies here.
Yeah. Yes?
Let's just spread out because the young drake breathes fire, and that's an AoE damage that I'd like to avoid. It seems fairly potent. Yes. At least it did last time.
What can I do you for?
Kind of just put each of these on a side here. And I don't know the best way to actually go into doing combat.
Wait, look there.
With this markup or this group.
Yeah?
Does anyone in chat understand the UI above the enemy's heads here? Is this 84% chance to hit? It has -2 armor and only takes 50% of slashing damage. Is that what that means?
What do you need? Huh?
88% chance to hit has negative, or armor's reducing 1 level of penetration and we're only doing 75% damage. I think that's how that reads, but I'm not entirely sure. Alright, we have 1 ranged character, so I guess we just go ahead and shoot the drake to start combat.
I think I can't see you, you sneaky bastard.
Alright. Here we have 1 mage. Let's just do an empowered necrotic blast or necrotic lance. That tends to work pretty well. We can actually just go in and attack with her. We can't go in and attack with her. We're too far out. Let's just do a regular attack with this guy.
Hey.
Our turn. Ader can come in. Can Ader toss down a drake? How much of a badass are you, Ader?
Can't make a dent.
You're pretty badass. Fucking kick a drake right down to the ground. Aloth, I cannot wait to replace you. That's... You miss every shot. Every single one of them. Actually have a lot of Zarebs. Zarebs? Ooh. Paralysis. Not cool. And there's a ton of these things. Okay, the paralysis is super annoying, actually. Let's just do Blessed Harvest here and hope we kill this thing. No, we're pretty close to killing it.
Oh?
Have Confusion on Aloth. No, we don't. We do have Fireball, though. Fireball seems pretty sweet here. Let's begin chanting that with him. How much health does this drake have? A decent amount. Let's hope that our missiles kill it.
Not supposed to happen.
Close but no cigar. Fireball.
bags. I'll be
That did way less damage than I was hoping it would.
Hey.
Oh, and that guy heals. Fantastic. This is actually going really poorly for us, chat. Really, really poorly. If I move any closer, I think they're all just going to kill me. Get a triple hit here, which I think I'm just going to go for. Man. Let's see if we can just stun them. Let's do an empowered necrotic lance here again. Poor Ader is getting murdered.
We had some good times.
Another wither's on the vine.
That's not very helpful.
Yeah, and we do absolutely no damage. Right, Saint's armor kicked in there. That's at least nice. That seems to have taken my turn, though. The UI is a little strange here, because it tells me I have an available action. Oh, I just have to select him? Is that it? I just have to select him. That is indeed it. Let's kick down the Drake again.
Stay behind me. How may I help?
Still didn't manage to kill that. Most unfortunate. Can we reposition just slightly? See if we can get this. Yeah, so that'll hit all of them. I'm going to just do an empowered blessed harvest here and kill this Drake. Yeah, because that's one less thing I have to deal with. I'm also going to go ahead and cast Mass Confusion here. Let's just have them attack each other instead of me the entire time. That'd be nice.
This is futile.
Okay, I actually... Why does Aloth suck that much against... Oh, armor. Are they just good against fire? Is that what 11 fire means? Okay, I think that's actually exactly what 11 fire means, and that would explain what a large part of this problem was. I want to back away and go attack this priest to interrupt him, but I don't think I'm going to have the time. Let's try it, though. Ooh, I managed to get the disengage. Did not manage to kill the priest, though. Can heal up here. They did not attack each other. What good is confusion? Holy shit. Alright. That spell's a whole lot shittier than I thought it was.
How may I help?
The fuck was that, game? Oh man, that's a feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. They just... Is confusion just not as effective as I want it to be? Is that it? Cast Holy Radiance. Hope for the best. I guess we can daze these. They all have a decent amount of health.
What do you need?
Alright, let's try and just kill this priest. Let's knock him down. Alright, we actually just managed to kill him outright. We can flank these two. Chain lightning worked out alright. Okay, so they're actually just really resistant to fire. That seems to be their thing. We have a level 3 here. Missiles pierce through the target and hit neighboring things? Sure, so we're gonna do that. Loth is now completely out of spells.
No mercy.
So we're gonna try and just kill him. We don't have... We have a level 3 spell. Let's see, we have shoots sharp thorn brambles at nearby enemies, causing pierce damage and potentially sickening anyone in the area of effect. So when it says anyone, chat, does that mean literally anyone, including my own? Let's just drop the almighty pillar on them. Alright guys, don't get interrupted. That's all you have to do.
Can't take much more. What do you need?
I actually want to kill this. I can't. Right, disengaged. Alright, we killed one more. One miss, double graze. Awesome. Shit. Okay, let's kill this one. Am I a joke to you, chat? Is this just... Are you not entertained by my party's complete and total inability to land any hit that actually matters?
Happy to oblige.
Holy shit, come on. We're gonna suffer 2 massive injuries here. For no reason other than... 1, confusion is apparently a completely useless spell. What am I doing? Stop running in. Misclick.
Got it.
And that we keep missing the attacks that actually count.
Happy to oblige.
Then we can just left click these down. Well, that wasn't too bad, chat. We took 2 injuries that we really didn't have to take there. Do they still gain experience? Is this like Baldur's Gate where they don't gain experience if they are knocked out? It doesn't look like it because they're all within... They're all pretty close within experience of one another. So thankfully it looks like that has worked. Let's just grab everything right now. Oh, actually, that's a spear, and that might be useful for Ader. I kind of wanted Ader to use spears to have the additional engagement. 17 to 14. Penetration of 7. Accuracy's 35. Initiative 6.3. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to just equip this. I think I'm going to go with the single-handed... It's a single-handed spear, right? Yeah. Okay,
Yes,
we're going to go with that for the additional engagement attribute. But what did the priest drop? We didn't grab the priest's quarterstaff, which gives us increased reach. We've got some ingredients and some cash. Curious to see if there's something worth looting around here, though. That really all that was here was just small experience battle. I feel like there's got to be a cave or maybe something hidden that I need perception to see. That's always a possibility. Nothing of note, nothing of note. Alright, kind of a bummer. Just a random encounter with a drake and some lizard people. Ted Cruz's family. So saith the internet. Right, yeah, that literally just took this one right off the island. Cavern of Zaru-Tuk-Tuk. Right, can't pass up a chance to meet this guy with a name like that. You come upon the opening to a small cave. Putrid gusts of hot air burp from deep within, and you hear the faint chitter and hiss of Zarups in earnest conversation. Let's enter the cave. Your boots crunch through a drift of brittle bones as you creep into the Zarub lair. So what are our injuries here? We're taking less healing and we have less health. On both of them, we just have gaping wounds. Alright.
Real quiet now.
I'm gonna go stealth here.
We're not alone.
Wartrief Rauki? Alright, so let's try and take a position where we can't get surrounded. Somewhere like here.
Yeah?
Let's have Ader
Happy to oblige.
and Jody in front. Actually, we may just be able to have Ader kind of hold the middle. Because if 3 try to get past him and he engages, I don't know that someone will actually be able to fit past him. So that might be the best possible position for them. And then let's have our dear friend Seraphin here try and set off this gunpowder barrel. This worked really well earlier in the game. Shoot? Hello? anyone in chat understand what the hell just happened?
Hey. Nightcap.
Yes, I want you to shoot with your gun. Hello? So you can shoot that, but you can't shoot the barrel. What the hell was that about? Okay, I'm gonna reload that, because I feel like we just got completely cheated on a pretty good setup. Because I want to say earlier that went off. If you do it from stealth, it actually does explode before they get to react. Right, I want to shoot this. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. Let's just delay turns.
Yeah.
Just gonna try and have Seraphim live long enough to get back to us. Alright, run, Seraphim. Alright, that's gonna have to do. No, this is not helpful because everything leaves the range of the gunpowder. Yeah, actually, this is totally not helpful. Wonder if there's a better spell we could throw at it. We're just gonna lose that engagement there. We're gonna be one man down and then have everyone else die. So let's try and just get a quick load here. What happens if I cast something from slightly further out of range? Fireball goes a decent distance. What happens if I fire this from stealth?
Yeah.
It says gunpowder destroyed. I'm guessing that was not as effective as I wish it was, but we're about to find out. Just gonna delay our turns here a whole bunch. We're gonna have Aloth back up some. Actually back way up and end his turn. Things at least are chasing us now. Can try and get them to funnel. Maybe even put themselves in bad positions. Well, he's at least half health.
What can I do you for?
This is kind of working for funneling everything through. I think what I do want to do at the very least is I want to put down this circle. It's going to give us continual healing as long as we fight in it, so that's going to be my position here at least. I don't have any movement. That's not what I wanted to do. I thought you could make that, but you can't. Continuous grasp. Assail the target's grasp in reality, causing shaken and confused. Yeah, go on. Get shaken. Get confused. Let's see if confusion is still worthless. I'm going to go ahead and do an empowered level 3 upgraded missiles here. Try and just get some damage in.
What do you need?
Ader, you're going to move slightly up, but still be in focus, and you're just going to hold position. Oh, we could do Into the Fray. Is that worth doing is the question. I think not for now, no, because we want to hold our position on the circle of healing. So let's just hold right here. Alright, perfect. They ran right into engagement with Ader, which is what I wanted. So what else do we have? I guess we can do... Let's do an empowered crackling bolt. Let's see how much damage this does against them. Oh, well, boo on that. Well, actually, we might be able to line up a pretty sweet bolt here. Oh, okay, that's going to be good. Let's empower this. Hit a bolt. We can hit these 3. Oh, man, perfect. We can hit 5 of them in the back as well. Maybe I can't. No. Is that actually hitting a friendly or not? Oh, it is. So is that a UI glitch? Oh, is it because our stealth that doesn't show me that I'm hitting him? So I can hit these 4. No, I can actually hit this group. Perfect. That works. He may actually run right into the path of that, if I'm lucky.
Can't make a dent.
Can't do any penetration there, apparently. Alright, that's fine. Let's just hold our ground for now. Or let's gain our inspiration, and then let's just hold our ground.
Yeah.
What to do here? We can probably just summon a pillar again to crush the slot.
We're in that last drink.
Alright, that was a healthy bit of damage. Let's go ahead and daze this whole group. That way that should lower their damage output.
I'm having some trouble moving through this.
Alright, the paralysis is really annoying. I hope that we can find a way to stop paralysis.
Yeah.
So that thing's really starting to piss me off. Can we empower and do a Blessed Harvest and just kill the War Chief? Yes, we can. Alright, that seemed like that was worthwhile.
We'll be the privy.
I need you to back up. And stay where you're at, mostly. Double miss. Not great. Not great. Let's do Second Wind here. Gain a little bit of health. Aloth. Let's do Necrotic Bolt. Let's try and kill this priest from afar. I don't think the priests have too much health. Necrotic Bolt and the Flame Blight as well. Vader is currently flanked, but that should be okay. Alright, we killed the priest.
If you have any antidotes handy, I'd be much obliged. Yes?
Alright, pretty good shot there. I think we're just going to do regular magic missiles against this Flame Blight. It's almost dead. I think we can just finish it off with one more. Ooh, okay, the Flame Blight explodes when it dies? Is that what happened there? Killed the Flame Blight, but where was the additional damage from? I'm not sure. That seemed a little strange to me, but we'll survive. Circle of Healing coming in useful. Glad I picked that one up.
Captain.
I actually did not want you to punch him, but that's fine.
Yeah.
We can do a mule kick against this skirmisher to keep him down.
Yeah.
We can just probably just murder these ones, honestly. Yeah, why not use our level 1 spells? We're about to recharge them.
Be blowing a man down.
That's really disappointing, the accuracy on that. I don't know what it is, but it's not high enough. Right. He's still down. He's disoriented. Getting back up. Alright, now we just do the skip, turn, and left click strategy to finish this one. Well, we finally landed a shot. That's a first.
Yeah.
Alright, so not a bad fight. The trick was just to funnel them all back through the cave. And once they're all in the same sort of area, we had a really good lightning bolt. So they're definitely resistant to fire, which makes sense. Lizard people, fire. It's a pretty on-flavor RPG trope. Shimmer Scale. A small shield, one-handed. Shield engagements for an additional enemy. 2 deal deflection. 5 defense against fire attacks. 10 defense against gaze attacks. Sweet. Okay, so this is what the War Chief was handling. Lots of ingredients. Do I have any of these spears worth picking up? No, they all look about the same. Who uses small shields? I believe you do. Yeah, but your lantern's pretty sweet already. Medium shield. Tanks probably want the bigger shields though, just for the straight up deflection bonus, right? +4. Yeah, the additional 4 deflection. I don't know if I'm wanting to get rid of that for him. Which means, well, it's actually an additional 2 deflection. So it's 6 deflection I think that's actually going to be worth it then. Where can I see my deflection? Hold on, let's test this. Can I really not? Is this deflection? Yeah, so this should go down by 2. It does go down by 2. Okay, so the deflection under small shield doesn't update actually, despite the fine attribute. That's just, you have to count it separately. Does it even display 6 here? No, it doesn't. Okay, so Shimmer Scale is just a straight upgrade there, I think. Losing 2 deflection but gaining a bunch of resistances feels worth it to me. Probably a good change. Other Sharp Rock. Someone wants to chat. From between the bars stares a frail and sickly Zarup. It shrinks when you near, pressing itself into the furthest corner of its cage, trembling. Around its neck are the remnants of a bedraggled feather crest. Paint is smeared across its face, but the paint is old, flaking. It hasn't been reapplied in some time. The Zarup's regalia tells you they must have been an important figure in the tribe, perhaps a high priest or a mother, but its condition makes clear that those days are long past. What happened to you? The Zarup watches you with an unreadable expression on its face and says nothing. Let's break open the cage. You hear the bars clear out of their frame. Tear the bars clear out of their frame. The Zarup scrambles to get out of your reach. When you make no movement to capture it, it stares between you and the open cage door, blinking rapidly. It tenses, then bursts out the door. Congratulations, mate. I hope I'm not going to regret that in the future.
Will do.
Oh, you're returning. Hello? The Zarup watches you intently. Who locked you up? The Zarup scuttles behind you and grabs a hold of your leg. It points across the cave to a corpse of a large, well-adorned Zarup, one of their champions, and scowls. Why are you following me? The Zarup tilts its head slowly and blinks. It narrows its eyes like it can't quite figure out what you mean. It glances back at the cage you freed it from, then stares at you expectantly. Do you always follow your leader around? The Zarup clings tightly to your leg and refuses to let go. You want to come with me? It stares up at you, unblinking, and finally releases your leg. When you make no move to chase it away, it hops up and down excitedly. Ader gives you a nod and a wink. Alright, welcome to the crew, Mother Sharp Rock. Cuttlefish and hagfish, sure thing. He trots behind you, tail held high. Fine dagger and a gem. I can't complain with the spoils in this cave. An upgrade to a piece of equipment is nothing to scoff at. Sigil of Atrophy Wardstone. Friendly target, +5 radius from caster. Immunity to Sigil of Atrophy attacks. Interesting. I have no idea what that's for. Enchanting, I'm assuming, but we'll figure that out as we go. Chat, you're all being so quiet. Is it just late Sunday night? Cruising for snoozing? Holy shit, it's 3 a.m. I should probably go to bed. But I'm not going to. Not yet. I can name the island. Alright, chat. Now's the time. What are we naming the island? I want to hear it. Let me hear it. Man, what do we name the island? Let's just name it Moana. First thing that comes to mind that involves islands. Achievement unlocked. Making your mark. Quite sure what that's for. See, Broken Spear Pass. Bones crunch underfoot. Strewn across the sand are skeletons half buried in wind-blown dunes, or lying bleached and baking in the sun. Their corpses still wear the tattered remnants of their clothing, their packs tangled in their limbs. Worms circle like vultures high above you. You feel a tug at your leg. Mother Sharprock clings to your boot, staring out at the dunes and looks up at you. Her eyes are wide with fright. She fears this place. The sand is strangely lively here. It dances as if caught in the breeze, but there's no wind to stir it. Several piles of grit rise above the dunes in suspiciously orderly mounds. Use a ranged weapon to test the sand mound's reaction. The mound of sand whips itself into a small storm. It rages across the dunes as its outburst awakens the mounds of sand beside it. Together they rise from the desert as a swirling cloud and bear down upon you en masse. Okay, well, we pissed something of the desert off. Enchanted sand. Fun! Yeah, quite literally, enchanted sand.
Aye.
So what are these? Sand blights. Very resistant to fire. Oh, goody. All of my mage's strongest abilities are only fire. Then we have 2 desert worms, which are also resistant. Man, lots of things resistant to fire. Let's, delay our turns here. Oh, why did it reorder my party? That's why the mage is in front. At some point, it's reordered my party, and I don't know when. Please disengage, please disengage. Okay, sweet. Let's do another empowered, bounding missiles. Yeah, let's have Ader move in. Ader engage stuff. Good man. That wasn't great. Ooh. That just killed one of them outright. Oh, it killed 2 of them outright, actually. That was a very respectable amount of damage. These empower upgrades are not bad.
How may I help?
Right, Aloth, you're actually going to do the exact same thing, but we're not going to use your empowerment, not yet.
What can I do you for?
Let's put down our healing circle. Oh, that's not targeted. That's actually just on her, but that's fine because it's actually hitting everyone in range.
That's not very helpful.
Well, that was unfortunate. He moved, and apparently your
I shall deal with this one.
Yeah.
things don't target that way. So let's do Blessed Harvest. That ability's nuts. That's way too good. That for a level 1 spell to do that much damage and make it proportional to how much health they have left. Oh, come on. Everything targets him. I get a little agitated with AI in games like this where they behave like that, where they should... I mean, they're animals, right? They shouldn't necessarily make an informed decision like that. I could understand a humanoid, like a bandit of thugs, singling out your weakest party member, but I feel like animals should be doing sort of random target selection most of the time.
Captain, I are like flogging a figurehead.
What do you need?
Futile.
Aye.
Yeah.
Looks like we're also all slightly wounded.
Hardly seems fair.
What for, Cap?
I don't want to Blessed Harvest this thing.
Get threshed.
'Cause it's so close to dead, we're just gonna keep poking it, and then we'll kill this one with Blessed Harvest once we get a couple attacks in.
Oh?
Ahoy. Another attack, Cap.
Yeah.
By far the most ridiculous spell in the game so far.
What do you stay behind me? Yes?
Oh, that was a pretty good killing blow.
Yes?
Right, sweet. So, Primal Wind ingredients, just general ingredients, honestly.
Nope.
What did the skeletons drop? Healing Hands. Ooh, lesser lay on grants lesser lay on hands. Paladin abilities. Let's see what lesser lay on hands is. Focusing the divine energies of the gloves, the wearer heals an ally or themselves with the touch of their hands, restoring a small amount of health. I kind of want these on Ader here, so that he can potentially heal himself.
How may I help? I shall.
If she blesses Blessed harvests something instead of healing for a turn, then maybe Ader can get himself out of trouble. Or at least buy himself a turn to come right back around to Jody. I hope Mother Sharp Rock is still okay. Yeah, let's go check out the Rune Tower. Search the location. Take some time to search the tower. 2 hours pass. And find a selection of rare potions cramped onto a shelf. You gain an item. The Potion of Spirit Shield. Keep searching. More times passed. I found some gold. Let's keep searching. 3 hours pass. I find nothing. Keep searching. Pyrites. You searched every inch of the tower. There's nothing left for you to take. Okay, so locations do actually drop off when you fully search them. That's good to know. Have something on this little outlet here. Cannon shots. We are so low on morale. I don't know. Oh, how do I pick up morale in a hurry? I have no idea, chat. Getting water. I thought we were on the good stuff. Here, the good stuff. Do the good stuff in this order. I have no idea if it actually matters which order it's in. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We're about to find out. Getting paid. Why are you not happy you're being paid? That should at least give me something. Minus 20 bonus experience is pretty rough. A way for me to see how this is affected overall. Because this is +1 morale, +1 morale. I wish I could see like a list of pros and cons for morale. Is that a thing? No, doesn't look like it. Miserable. Unaffiliated trade ships. You, I want to trade with you. Come here. Parlay. Let's see. What do we need, chat? What do we need very badly? We need morale. I just want to buy morale. Can I do that? Can I just buy liquor and cheap whores? Does that work? How much does it cost to retrain? 625. It's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. Not something you want to screw up. Fortunately, we've kind of already done a little bit of that. So, getting close to Nekataka, though. Fog rolls in. Sea encounter. Out of nowhere, a heavy fog rolls over the ocean. Oh, please don't be the undead ship. So dense that you cannot see more than a dozen feet out from your ship. With the fog's arrival, the winds die, the waves calm, and the Defiant is left aimlessly drifting. The only sounds those of the hull groaning, as if in dread of what's to come. Oh shit, it's gonna be the undead ship. Eerie green lights oh god, it's gonna be the undead ship. Eerie green lights pierce through the fog as the silhouette of a massive galleon approaches. Black sails, though tattered and rotting, catch in an otherworldly wind, slicing the ship forward at a rapid pace. The captain, a skeleton outfitted in tarnished armor, with glowering eyes, surveys you from the quarterdeck of the decaying galleon. She wraps 2 fleshless fingers against her chest before pointing at you. Hey, what up, homie? Peace sign to you too, man. I've seen that before. I've seen that move. What the goddess of death has marked, I will leave untouched. She nods solemnly, then, with a tilt of her skull, steers the ship away. Hey, Bareth, doing us a solid. As the floating hangman turns, several undead sailors shamble across the deck, hungry for a look at your crew. They scratch at the chipped and rotting railing, heads rolling on their exposed spines. So it actually was the fist pump peace sign. Because she actually didn't want to mess with us. The ship disappears back into the fog. A few minutes pass before the fog fully dissipates and the winds pick back up, rustling your sails. The seas are clear, empty. The other ship is nowhere to be found. Ooh, spooky skeletons. Right, Nekataka. Here we are. We made it, chat. I feel like I'm getting really weird FPS in this, which I just shouldn't be. We have a welcoming party. As you walk down the dock, your approach is noted by a cadre of heavily armored Omana. Their leader briskly leads them to intercept you. The harbor master looks you up and down with pursed lips. She looks past you toward your ship.
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your little boat?
The Omana cranes her thick neck to look along the hull of your ship. Her expression conveys equal portions incredulity and pity. Well, Mrs. High and Mighty.
Why do we gotta be farmers just because we're from Deerwood?
Are you a farmer?
I think he is.
Yeah, but you can't just assume. We got rabble-rousers too.
Like Ader's character a lot. He's well written. As her attention returns to you, the Omana's mood becomes more formal.
I'm the harbor master, Kauha. I must ask your reason for docking in Neketaka.
And I must tell you to fuck off. Get out of my way. We're not going to do that. I'm following a giant made of Adra, and I need to see someone in the palace about it. Harbor Master chuckles to herself, as do the women and men behind her.
Yeah, you do need to see someone, truly.
Har har.
I think it's the animancers and the spire you're looking for. To help with your head.
Yeah. The assembled guards roar with laughter and clap the Harbor Master on the back for her joke. Man, I knew these guys. I knew these guys in high school. I remember this group. Deep within you, you feel an uncontrollable roiling. You can't be certain if the sensation is physical or spiritual, but it immediately induces nausea and fills your ears with the sound of blood rushing through your head. Yeah, that's high school coming back. Cutting through the din, you hear a familiar woman's voice speak. Each word comes slowly, falling with what sounds like the chiming of a small bell.
Show them.
Oh, flex on him.
Show them what you are.
Concentrate on folding the edge of the in-between. You close your eyes and turn your mind inward, blocking out the sounds of the harbor and the menacing pack of guards. Soon, all you can hear is the rushing of blood in your head and a muffled chime ringing somewhere far away.
Yes. That's it.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief, save the purple flames for the tribes of the Outer Islands.
The roar in your head begins to abate. The ringing of the chime becomes clearer, rhythmic. 2 successive peals, followed by a brief respite. You realize the chime is ringing in tandem with your heartbeat. You open your eyes. The harbor master's gesturing wildly, presumably to get your attention and yelling in your face, but you hear no words, only the ringing of the chime as your heart rate slows and slows and slows and slows.
Now.
What is this?
Run for it!
Well, I didn't mean to spook the whole town. Though.
I think I got a ghost up my nose there. That's better.
That was a pretty good way to make an entrance.
Well, Port Marche is behind us. I thought this would be a relief.
Oh man, lots of places to explore here. Alright chat, thanks for watching. It's currently 3:30 where I'm at, so I think it's time for me to probably go to bed. I hope you all had a fantastic Memorial Day weekend and are going to enjoy your Memorial Day if you're in the States. If you're not in the States, Good morning to you. I hope you're having a good one. We're gonna continue Deadfire as we go. This was our 4th or 5th play session, I think. We're gonna get through the whole thing. We're not skipping VO on this playthrough. We're just doing the whole sort of experience for the first run. If it's something you're interested in, hit us with the old follow and you'll know when I'm live again. Otherwise, you can catch the VODs. Everyone was quiet tonight, but I've seen you lurkers there. I appreciate your company. Have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you later. Cheers.